All right, let's tackle the big question, which is, should you have multiple stores on Redbubble? So here's an example of a branded store. So this store you can see here with their banner at the top, they've got 743 designs and they all look kind of similar. As I scroll on down, out of 743 designs, they have over 131,000 favorited. Okay, let's take a look at another store here. This is Laura Graves. They're a featured artist on Redbubble. They've got a cat design right on the very top. This whole store is animals, cute fruit, but it's a similar style. The whole way down, we can see there's over 157,000 favorited off of 159 designs. Now you might say, okay, that's fine. They're a featured artist. They're on Instagram. That's why they've got so many favorites. Fair enough. Here's another one, Studio 838. 2,268 designs. You can see here again in the banner, it's pretty similar in scope. A lot of circular designs, a lot of locations, a lot of similar looking designs. I love this store. This looks fantastic. And as we scroll on down, we can see off of 2,268 designs, we have exactly 5,000 favorited. So this is a great example of somebody who's plugging away. They've got a branded store and they're making some progress. I think that looks awesome. So in this video, the question is, should you have multiple stores or should you just stick to one general store? Confession time, I actually have a general store. Now I have multiple stores on Redbubble and I'm going to try to make the case in this video for multiple stores. I think it's a good idea for a number of different reasons. But I do have a general store. I've done very little work on it and I basically upload whatever I like in there. There's dog designs, cat designs, funny stuff. It's just weird stuff that I just find funny. So I've got about 1,000 designs and I've got about 900 sales and it seems to be growing by about a sale a day or every second day. So I'm very happy with this because it's very low maintenance. I do this as a hobby in my general store. So I really like the idea of a general store, especially if you're starting out. It's easy to use, it's fun, and this should be a fun way to get some passive income. Now there are some advantages to having a general store in general versus a niche store. You know, the big advantage is ease of use. I think that having a store, one username, one login, one password, and you can just upload stuff and you can figure out what sells. I really think that that's a great way to ease into Redbubble or really any print-on-demand journey. The other thing is style. You can find out what styles work for you. This is a testing ground. So you can upload about 1,000 designs over the course of a few years. And what will happen is if you find that certain designs are selling, break those off into a niche store and make more of those designs. Another one as well at having a general store is the momentum. Instead of being overwhelmed at the start of your print-on-demand journey, oh man, I've got 3 stores, 4 stores, 7 stores. It's too much. Have one store, have some fun, and have a goal of like 1,000 uploaded designs onto Redbubble in one store. That's doable over the course of 2 years. That's a design or two a night, every night for a couple years. It should be fun. It should be something that you work on the weekend and you enjoy. Now there's some disadvantages to having a general store as well, and it's a big one right out of the gates. Imagine if you've got 1,000 designs, 2,000 designs, 5,000 designs, and then all of a sudden you upload something that happens to be trademarked or happens to be copyrighted, you get a strike, you get another strike, and then all of a sudden you get an email saying you've been banned. That's a big deal because now all your eggs in one basket have been destroyed. So that's a huge reason to think about getting a niche store. The other big disadvantage of having a general store is from a branding perspective. Unless you have a very unique style, it's very tough to have a store where somebody looks at your store and says, oh, regardless of what you're making, that's their brand. So having a general store generally means that we're not going to have a huge brand. And so people are going to find individual designs they like and buy them. They're not going to necessarily come back a whole bunch. So here's the idea if you're interested in doing a niche store or having multiple stores. It's pretty easy, but if you're not thinking this way, it might be like an eye-opening moment. Here's the idea. You have one store, right? No, you have say 3 stores in our example. So you open up 3 stores with 3 different usernames and 3 different passwords. You've got them completely separate. The only thing is you maybe are happening to use the same computer. As far as Redbubble is concerned, there are 3 completely different accounts. They could be 3 different human beings, 3 different PayPal addresses. One might be your general store, and then maybe you want to niche off. One's got dogs, for example, one's got fruit, and then one's got cars. So that's the idea where, as far as Redbubble is concerned, these are 3 different people running 3 different stores, getting paid to 3 different PayPal accounts. There's no reason to think that they're the same person other than the IP address on the computer. But hey, maybe they're different family members. You'd have 3 legitimate accounts all set up separately, and then that gives you a chance to niche down and establish a brand on your store. So I would really encourage you, if you want to take your store to the next level on Redbubble, type in a random search term that you might be interested in. So for example, I typed in the search term Zodiac t-shirts, and this is what I got back, 243,000 results. You go, yikes, that's a lot of results. So here's one that I really like. It's an old, looks like a public domain image of a tarot card, and it's by Create Design. So when I look at their shop, I can see there's 201 designs. They seem to all be very similar. They have a featured collection at the top, and the collections all seem to be something similar. They could be Gothic, Zodiac designs, urban designs, whatever it is, but they've got a similar look and feel on their store. And as I scroll on down, I can see that out of 200 designs, this person has over 50,000 favorites and 1,000 followers. So that's fantastic. This speaks to the power of branding. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work every time, but I would encourage you to have a look on Redbubble and find stores that are in niches you'd like to look at and you'd like to sell in, and see if you can find branded stores that you can then use as inspiration and say, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. I really hope you found this helpful. Here's another video on how you can supercharge your Redbubble journey. Thanks a lot for watching.